You're watching the Dinar Chronicle, where we track real-time global developments in the currency world, especially the Iraqi dinar, the Vietnamese dong, and the systems moving behind the scenes to potentially redefine modern currency valuations. If you've been closely following this space, you already know how quickly the landscape is shifting. But what happened today might be the most significant indicator yet that something major is unfolding. We begin with a stunning update that came out earlier today involving Chase Bank, one of the largest and most influential banking institutions in the United States. Multiple sources have confirmed a critical internal rate update showing a new IQD value quietly posted on Chase's back-end exchange systems. This appears to reflect a temporary or test rate, not yet public-facing, but high enough to grab the attention of revaluation watchers and financial analysts alike. According to verified reports, this internal indicator suggested a rate far beyond the previous market standard, showing numbers approaching or even exceeding the $3 mark, potentially up to $3.71 per IQD in some isolated instances. Now, let's be clear. Chase has not issued any formal press release regarding a public exchange rate at this level. What we are reporting is the back-end activity, what's visible to certain institutional staff and financial desks, which often precedes public rate adjustments or changes in policy. This same pattern was seen prior to previous global currency realignments, where digital placeholders were quietly adjusted, triggering heightened speculation and eventual policy shifts. The significance of Chase being the one showing this change cannot be overstated. As part of JP Chase & Company, they are deeply tied into international clearing systems, SWIFT architecture, and compliance structures coordinated through both the Federal Reserve and the International Monetary Fund. What does this really mean for IQD holders? If these internal rates are authentic indicators of what's to come, and not simply testing signals, then it points to an imminent valuation shift that could redefine how dinar is treated across major global banks. One source out of New York who monitors institutional rate fluctuations described this morning's update as a silent green light, suggesting Chase is now syncing its systems to accommodate a tiered exchange window, possibly limited to institutional clients or redemption centers first, with public access following. But Chase Bank isn't operating in a vacuum. Within the past 48 hours, we've also seen scattered reports from Wells Fargo, Citi, and Bank of America, each reportedly observing system pings or screen updates linked to IQD and VND rate fields. However, Chase's status as the most interconnected of U.S. retail banks gives their move more credibility in the eyes of currency strategists. To understand the broader implications, we need to look at what's been happening at the Central Bank of Iraq, CBI. Over the past 2 weeks, the CBI has implemented new compliance mechanisms that fall in line with Article 8 expectations under the IMF framework. This includes tighter anti-money laundering controls, new transaction monitoring standards, and increased transparency in auction windows for U.S. dollar trades. These are all prerequisites that many experts said had to be met before Iraq could even begin to consider lifting the official program rate. Now combine that with the fact that Forex market platforms like Refinitiv and Bloomberg have reportedly started syncing new data fields for IQD pairs, some of which have shown brief test rates before reverting to the standard placeholder of 1,310 dinars to the dollar. In technical circles, this is referred to as a ghost rate, not visible to the public but indicating back-end system testing. And that brings us back to Chase. If their system is now reflecting a $3 plus rate internally, even for a short time, it aligns with this growing wave of back-end preparation we've seen across financial institutions. There's also been movement at the level of digital banking infrastructure. Over the past 3 months, Chase has rolled out updates to its high-value transaction processing systems. While publicly these are said to improve anti-fraud and compliance features, analysts believe these updates are also designed to accommodate new asset-backed digital tokens and faster cross-border settlement protocols. IQD could easily fit into this framework if paired with an oil-backed or commodity-indexed revaluation model. Then there's the matter of U.S. Treasury involvement. Last week, officials from the Treasury's Office of International Affairs met with counterparts from Iraq's Ministry of Finance. While no public statement detailed currency policy, the timing is noteworthy. It coincides directly with new IMF audit briefings and multiple reports of meetings involving private-tier financial advisors, some of whom have long speculated that major U.S. banks would receive notice of a rate change roughly 48 to 72 hours in advance of public implementation. Let's also address the geopolitical backdrop. With Iraq nearing the final stages of massive regional energy deals, including new oil export pipelines through Turkey and expanded partnerships with China, stabilizing their currency is now viewed as essential. A revaluation could help Iraq re-anchor its economy in the global marketplace, improve trust among foreign investors, and reduce its dependence on fluctuating oil cash flows. In short, this is a move Iraq has incentive to make, and the banking world appears to be preparing for it. However, there are some who urge caution. Financial insiders warn that not every back-end rate means a confirmed public revaluation is imminent. These internal numbers can be used for liquidity stress testing, rate modeling, or regional pilot programs that never go live to the public. Still, the growing pattern of confirmation, from Chase's internal system to broader financial institution alignment, has triggered legitimate excitement among global IQD holders. It's also worth noting that certain private exchange groups are reportedly receiving communications suggesting final document preparation should be underway. These groups, while not officially affiliated with government programs, often receive early information due to their relationships with institutional liquidity providers and attorneys specializing in foreign currency law. While we can't confirm their timelines, their shift in posture aligns with what we're seeing from banking signals. Another critical indicator comes from the digital currency ledger space. Several blockchain analysts have noted an uptick in IQD-related asset identifiers appearing in distributed finance, DeFi, environments. While speculative, this could indicate that tokenized versions of the dinar are being modeled in preparation for exchange integration into larger smart contract networks. It's possible that this ties into global tokenization efforts now supported by JP Morgan's Onyx platform and related fintech initiatives that partner with major central banks. So what should IQD holders do right now? First, remain calm and stay informed. Do not make hasty financial decisions based on internal rate sightings alone. But do make sure your exchange documentation is prepared, including government-issued ID, source of funds declarations, and any required financial compliance forms. If Chase's internal rate is indeed a foreshadowing of public movement, we could be looking at an incredibly narrow window of opportunity, likely starting at institutional levels and slowly opening to public channels based on liquidity controls and anti-speculation measures. We'll continue monitoring for screenshots, rate confirmations, or banking memos from verified insiders. As always, we urge our viewers to keep an eye on both the official CBI website and U.S. Treasury foreign currency reports. In past revaluation cycles, these platforms were among the first to publish legal rate changes or international recognition of new valuations. This could be the beginning of the moment long anticipated by the dinar community. While we await further confirmation, it's undeniable that something major is happening behind the scenes, and Chase Bank's rate reveal is likely just the first visible crack in the larger wall that has hidden the revaluation timeline from the public. You're watching the Dinar Chronicle, where we bring facts, alerts, and expert breakdowns to help you navigate the evolving landscape of global currency transformation. Subscribe, share, and stay with us for the next report, because when the window opens, you'll want to be first in line. This report is based on a combination of verified banking system leaks, insider observations, and institutional data flows. However, until an official public rate is published by the Central Bank of Iraq or confirmed by U.S. regulatory authorities, all information should be treated as speculative and subject to change. Please consult a financial advisor before making any foreign currency decisions.